In the last 13 months alone, they've been given $240 billion. DHS has taken that money and hired incompetent and unqualified immigration enforcement officers. No reports that agents responsible have faced any discipline or consequences.
No, they're never
Often,
get it.
DHS won't even identify them.
I mean,
DHS has also racially targeted people, smashed into people's houses without warrants, and disappeared people. These arrests are usually based on no cause, no investigation, no hearing with the judge, and no due process.
And they don't
the immigration officers.
Hey everybody, this is Dean FM, Dean Facer Milford here for your creature comfort, and today I wanted to do another reaction video. This one's gonna be too. Let me pick the phone right back up. You know, I don't usually stand up, but my phone said I'm overheated in my outside space, so it's like, okay, let's go over here. So Representative Summer Lee shames GOP colleagues as they try to make Trump's immigration policies permanent. We stand with our immigrant brothers and sisters. It's never stopping. ICE is just ramping up. In fact, it's gotten worse. I know that there was earlier last month, there was a few. I mean, it's just a lot. The investigations keep going as to ICE being culpable for people being, and I think that's, the in and of itself. But then you got all the thousands and thousands of people who are stuck in the immigration system itself and are just like locked up. I try to maintain a level of calm on here, especially in the interest of not getting people, too anxious. But things are pretty bad in that sense. I'm here with you. We all kind of are. What's the game plan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to strike the last word.
Gentlelady is recognized.
I urge my colleagues to oppose this bill, which would codify some of Trump's cruelest immigration policies and does nothing to combat the atrocities committed by the Department of Homeland Security on our communities. When immigration officers violate people's constitutional rights or physically harm people or kill people or terrorize communities, it's not an accident or an outlier. It's the Department of Homeland Security's planned policy. It's also not unique to this administration because immigration enforcement was designed to be cruel and callous and lawless. When DHS was formed, it took power away from other agencies that may have been better served to provide the individual.
When you think about 9/11, I was watching a 9/11 documentary like a month back, and I was like, maybe I should stop paying attention to it because I think that, at the end of the day, that was used in and of itself as a horrific. Like, could you imagine? Like, that was pretty bad. I mean, as far as the xenophobia went, I know that day of, there was like people that were pounding like doors, like the taxi cabs. There were people like in New York that were like beating up Muslim people already while the buildings were on fire, or people that they interpreted to be Arab or what have you, or Middle Eastern, and they weren't being dated. So I think that there was a meaning, the U.S. knows exactly what the people know too. Like, we're all adults here. Like, we at this point, like, I don't know. Maybe we don't know that racism is a problem. Lead to xenophobia. So back to xenophobia. Yeah. So I think it was weird. Bush was a demon, but in and of himself. But he seemingly was like navigating like the corruption. Like, Trump is like a pile of when they say roll down here, Capitol. Okay, here we go.
May have been better served to provide the individual services and stuff them together, all in the name of national security. But since its start, it's been responsible for the targeting, the detainment, and family separation of hundreds of thousands of people. The courts are separate, the judges are unaccountable, and detention networks remain deplorable. This isn't just Trump administration manipulating an otherwise effective agency, though. It is rogue by design. DHS has caused so much harm to our communities, yet Republicans keep wanting to throw money at it with no oversight mechanisms to rein in their bad actions. In the last 13 months alone, they've been given $240 billion. DHS has taken that money and hired incompetent and unqualified immigration enforcement officers. They've thrown the money at private prison corporations to expand detention centers. They've even purchased spyware and people's data to get around the Fourth Amendment protections. 6 people have been killed by ICE and CBP during immigration enforcement actions, and another 53 people have died in ICE custody. The agency has gone out of its way to not cooperate with local law enforcement to investigate these killings, though. There have been no reports that agents responsible have faced any discipline or consequences.
No, they never
Often,
get it.
DHS won't even identify them.
I mean,
DHS has also racially targeted people, smashed into people's houses without warrants, and disappeared people. These arrests are usually based on no cause, no investigation, no hearing with the judge, and no due process.
And they don't
The immigration officers don't care about a person's status,
There's like a point where the white establishment has degraded the black community and just people of color so horrifically. I really hope we just, like, everybody can just notice it. But what concerns me is I think that people have noticed it and have been not caring of the issue. But I think it's not my viewers, obviously. What I'm saying, my proposal would be, let's get our voices out there more.
Whether a person is actually a citizen, if that person has a child at home, or even if they physically harm the person during an arrest. This committee should be holding hearings with DHS officials demanding transparency and accountability. The immigration officers don't care about a person's status, whether a person is actually a citizen, if that person has a child at home, or even if they physically harm the person during an arrest. This committee should be holding hearings with DHS officials demanding transparency and accountability. We should be examining how DHS's creation allowed the agency to operate outside the law and the Constitution. We should be listening to refugees and asylum seekers about how to improve the intake process and better protect them. Cruelty is the point the Department of Homeland Security, and this bill fully supports that. I urge my colleagues to grow a conscience and to oppose this bill, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
It's security theater, just like at the airports too. After 9/11, they did this whole. It was called like that. Wasn't that the term? Security theater. I'll look that up. But it was something to that extent where they just beefed everything up. I remember once I was on a plane. There was like some guy with a shotgun. Like they were doing the whole thing. Like they were doing the whole military thing. Boy, I don't know. Maybe that would work if there's an armed person with a shotgun on the plane. But I mean, that would have sacrificed our comfort. You know, having a guy with a big old shotgun standing right up in front of the aisle, like as a black man, I'm the clunk. That's what are the theories for the Ku Klux. They said it could be the Ku Klux.
Cluck, cluck, Ku Klux.
No, I know that it's something about ancient Greek terminology or whatever. I don't know. We're getting a tangent. Hope you have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.